business. Some of them will learn and run into different places. They are pulling out the camouflage to disguise. Some of them had attempted to take Okadas and vehicles from some civilians. But I can tell you that your state is peaceful, Ibadan is calm, and of course, our security network with the synergy that we have in place, they've been up to task. Of course, this is just a by the way thing. It could be likened to a treasonable felony. This is an insurrection. Of course, no government will watch and allow some people on cheap drugs to come and do such a thing. Appropriate sanction will be taken, and it's still an ongoing process.
Nuisance lele.
So and that is why it is better people are really much like, guided when it comes to this conversation. Because you see, bringing the disrepute to a noble cause, and then you are hearing a Yoruba man gleefully calling them, tagging them that they are miscreants, they are on cheap drugs, and blah, 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 blah. But he's very much aware. He's a police officer who is working for Nigeria. And in that regard, they're talking about something Yoruba nation. And there are tens of thousands of people like that who uses their own position to justify the, criminalizing and making it look more or less like solely miscreants, drug user or drug abusers, kind of are those who are asking for Yoruba nation. So they work that way, and when events like this happen, it's like playing into their hands. It's unfortunate that we do not have control over what people do or when they do them, right? But sometimes, right, we should do within our power to not encourage, that kind of people, because at the end of the day, it all comes back to one thing. The criminals who are criminalizing this, they will be justified and say, yes, did we not tell you? And indeed, they are also provocateurs too, right? They will do everything as well to provoke the people to reaction so that they can justify why they are unleashing terror on people who are peacefully demanding for a conversation. And they are all saying it too. But it's only if you say it as somebody who is saying, let us break up. That is when they get triggered. But a lot of them are saying this Nigeria is messed up. This Nigeria is not in anybody's interest. A lot of them are doing everything. They are disagreeing with this arrangement, but they are only mad and triggered. If you say, okay, since you disagree, you just don't disagree, then let's break it up. Let's have Biafra. Let us have Araba nation. Give them the Arewa. Give the Yoruba nation. They will be triggered. It then need to become a long, drawn sword now for blood. So we should do everything within our best or within our power to not encourage these platforms that continue to mislead the people, to continue to, and all of these are just to them, just to make the news, and they could come around and come back like now and brag to you and say, what we did in Ibadan yesterday is just the beginning. We are going to do more next time. I remember that Onitiri that was saying that they needed the weapons and all of that stuff. So I know what I'm talking about. Because the end goal is that there are actually, there are people who are really tired of this contraption, Yorubas. And they actually want something that they can do to help and and hasten the breakup of this contraption. Like I said, if good and such motivating energy is not well guided and then channeled, we will be receiving news like this. And this news like this will continue to justify why they continue to criminalize it. So a lot of us need to continue to speak out, and if possible, in fact, we have to stop promoting some of these platforms that encourages this, because at the end of the day, it's just going to keep, and it is not just about Nigeria, it is also going to be about the Yorubas, our fellow Yorubas. A lot of them will be, that is not attractive. Is that attractive to you? To the point that some of you even believe that it may be staged. You really think that staged, that they shot two of them, and one of them arms is already broken. he can't lift it anymore. It's like it's already like that. Like when they shoot you in leg and break your leg. It's because a lot of you cannot imagine that any sensible person, right, will just walk into a place in that manner, okay, and then put up that so much show only for them to be taken. Like, you get what I mean? Like if you come in as a commando who is representing, oh, we are commando who is representing so and so, then you must be able to actually show that strength. But only for them to now drag you, take off your uniform, put them back on, beat you to bloody. So an average Yoruba person will not be attracted to that. And this is what they want to show to the Yorubas. That yes, Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is a failed place, but yes, but do you want to associate yourself with these ones? These ones are just this and that. So we need to continue to actually make sure we reduce this kind of, you know what I mean? And whoever, because when we do this, there are people who are indeed encouraged, and we are going to say something, and somebody is going to act on that. And if for any reason, things that are not attractive, and when I say, that is why, you see, some people say, oh, they want action. We need action and all of that. Well, think about this. Let's assume, because some of you need to know, you see this Israel-Hamas fight, for example, Ukraine, Russia, these are countries, all right? However, Hamas is not a government, okay? Hamas is a group. But to so many of you today who have been following it, right, you will know that billions, if not tens of billions of dollars for decades, that this Hamas have amassed to put up this much long war that you are witnessing today, right now. It's not cheap, right? It's not because they have 10 guns or 20 guns, or they have 100 guns. You can see all the weapons flying here and there. So it simply means that if any group want to present themselves as, we are the commando group for so and so, you should not make yourself a shooting target for the security force of a country that cannot fight terrorists, that cannot fight a ragtag terrorists. The country with nearly 1 million personnel and reserve of army, police, and all of that. They have weapons, they have jets, they have everything. The army of the country that cannot end Islamic terrorism and all of that for 12 years. They will come bring police, come bring all this, they will come make you shooting targets. Because you, number one, majority of you don't have the required training. You do not have the required logistic. You do not have the required backup. You have nothing other than that somebody give you uniform. You are dressed like somebody that can look scary. And one single shot, you are dead, you are gone. So that is why when you are building a force that you want to say, okay, yeah, we want to take over everywhere, you must have the logistics to take over everywhere. You must have the logistics to hold the ground you are taking over. If you are taking over the government of your state, for example, you must have all the logistics to hold the ground. Even if it's going to be just for a few days, that will make the news. Okay? They bring their soldiers. You know, they bring their police, you fire them, they send them away. They bring in their own soldiers, you fire them, they bring their special up. Then they begin the negotiation like a stand down. Where the weapons there, they are advising themselves that we can't go in there, the weapons there, we don't know how they, you know, the things you see in the movies. Those are the kind of preparation, and this preparation is not something you just do like this. So we must do our best that until we have the capacity to go stronger that way, we must continue to manage those energies, because those energies could be channeled into so many ways, because there are so many ways to kill a cat. I have been told that many times. There are many ways to kill a cat. And somebody has said it on this platform as well. In the market, there are many entrances. Are the entrances into a market, as long as you are in. So this energy, and how to channel them and how to build on them. Because that's the only tiny positive side I have seen to this, and that's what I want you to remember of it. I don't want you to remember as people who bring disrepute now, having condemned that. But that tells us something, and that also tells something to the owners of Nigeria, that within Yoruba land, with the right resources, with the right logistics and training, there are Yorubas that are willing to take over the entire government of Yoruba land and cut Yoruba out of Nigeria. There is a generation or more than 1 or 2 generations that can actually assemble people, young and old, experts here and there, that with the right logistic, they can hold down the entire country, Yoruba land. And a lot of us don't actually want it that way. And we will continue to remind all of you. Those who make peaceful dissolution impossible, they will make violent breakup inevitable. People like me are those who don't like guns. But we know there are those that see people like me as ordinary storyteller. And there will be a time that what people like me say will no longer matter. It is what those other ones shoot that you would have to listen to. And it is going to happen. Things like this are the signs. Politicians in Yoruba land, you might think you have conquered people where they make mouth. If few people could actually, I want to say, if they have the understanding of what they were walking into and what these guys will do to them now that they are in their custody, they would think twice, but they didn't give a damn. They still went. There was a lady there. There's an elderly man. There are a few of them, right? They still went in there. They challenged their government security, and they told them they came to take over the government. With what? Now, if you could have that in Yoruba land, Emurasi, continue to tell yourself that nothing can break away or Nigeria can ever break. You will realize later that it will only take just a little enticement and motivation with the right training, adequate resources, and they will shock not just all of now that are relying on the Abuja security, Nigeria military, Nigeria policeman with a grant interview. None of you will be able to, they won't be able to protect you. And you see people like us, then, when things get to that stage, we will be behind them. You know why we will be behind them? Because by then, like I said, with the right training, right logistic, the greater support, they will need more voice to tell the world that whatever lie they will be lied, or whatever lies that you probably will use to try to demotivate them, people like us will be dispelling them. And yes, we will speak out for them. And that is why right now, everyone can keep having their field day and keep telling themselves, it's not going to happen. It's impossible. But me, I have seen what I have to see. Let us call them stupid. Call them foolish. In fact, let's call them suspected thugs. Like the policeman said, call them drug addicts, drug abusers. Call them misled. But there is something that tells me, there are actually millions like them within Yoruba land. They just needed somebody to motivate them and motivate them in a way that belief, that thought they are entertaining, it can actually happen. And we are tilting towards that. Brethren, that was what happened in Ibadan. Today. So like I said, we all can have our judgments about them. I do have mine. But I would never ignore the level of confidence and courage. You can say they are they are foolishly courageous. Any smart person can know that with the way Nigeria is going, the people that will dislodge these criminals from Yoruba land, they will be the people that have never left Yoruba land before. I know a lot of people are saying that all of us in the diaspora, that we have a lot of role to play. All of us have role to play. And when I'm talking about this logistics, this motivation, this kind of scouting and discovery and building over time, one money, in no distant future, you will see a new revolutionary Yorubas that are no longer the textbook definition of coward that some of you are putting forward. They will surprise all of us. And I will be there. Inshallah. Inshallah, will be there. Let's go to the next one. And this one is brief. I could be brief, right? It is simply about, okay, you know what? Let's kind of take on the obedient versus the Agbadorians. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, people kind of attack themselves, abuse themselves, call their papa, your mama, your this. There are actually those who go as far as, you know, like defaming people. She's slander. Is that called slander? I want to look for the strong word that makes you feel like, how can you do that to me? For example, if somebody calls you a rapist, all because they want to defend APC. You see that on social media all the time, don't you? Okay. Now, what happened is that the social media bandits, Facebook adsmen, the all past criminals, those ones I call the crumb chasers, crumb eaters, ass lickers, most ones who will tell you that, yes, Yoruba lokan, because they always think, right? They are part of the, of the guests, not knowing that they are the menu that people are coming in to eat. You know, that sense of stupidity called entitlement or belief. Okay, let me use this one. You see one, what do you call it? One Mustafa Sokoto on Facebook. An Alimajiri that is one of the 143 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty. Mustafa Sokoto, he will see my video and he will say, Damboroba Mayegu, we will rule you. We, Fulani, Northerners, we will rule over you forever. And then you look around and say, including you, Mustafa, you will rule over me. How? Because I'm a Fulani, I'm from the north. Oh, really? Because you are from the north. And you count yourself as people who are ruling us. It is called delusion of the grandeur, delusional grandeur. APC, Egbekebe, and their sewage rats will tell you, if you condemn all of their failure, or you are more outspoken about Tifnumbu's criminal past and present and future, they do not have any issue with the fact that it is true that Tifnumbu is a drug lord, certificate forger, election rigger, illegitimate kleptomaniac, kind of. They are not kind of like, it's not that it's not true. But why are you calling him that? Don't you have respect? Don't you have elders at home? Are you not this or that? Okay, fine. These are still questions. Then they will turn around. He is better than your rapist father. He is better than your papa that is one-legged. Your dad is not a one-legged man. Oh. You get that? But an average APC, Agbadorian, because they want to say something that, why do you call Tifnumbu a drug dealer? Even though he's a drug dealer, but come on now, he's a president. Can't you have some respect? I can never take it for anybody to abuse President Tifnumbu. So they will say, even your mama will be ashewo. Your mama no be ashewo, no be anything. No. But an average Agbadorian, that is the way they fight back. You that was born by one-eyed man and a prostitute. These are not true. Then they go on to, maybe if you are a doctor, for example, and they know that you are not in support of APC, then they say, you better don't go to our hospital. She's a murderer. She has been killing people. People have been dying, going to our hospital. This is a grave allegation. And they are saying that simply because you said Tifnumbu is a drug dealer, which he is a drug dealer. Okay? But they are not happy you said he's a drug dealer. So why did you say he's a drug dealer? Okay, you too, you are a murderer. I didn't murder anybody. Yes, it's true. Somebody who came to your hospital told me that 6 people died in your hospital last week. Nobody died in my hospital. You don't even know my hospital. But to them, okay, you too, you called Tifnumbu a drug dealer. Did Tifnumbu say you a drug? I didn't call him a drug dealer. He's a drug dealer. There's a court record where he forfeited money to escape jail. I didn't. So, because he's a drug dealer, and I said it, why do you have to now say people are dying in my hospital? Why do you have to say that? Can you prove that? No, I can prove that. I have this or that. So the thing turned to police wahala. This is it, police wahala, defamation. So there is a lawyer, there is a young woman, a young lady, she's a lawyer. You know those lawyers where they do pro bono, they send you go jail because you couldn't bribe police and you have been there for 2 years, 4 years. You don't even know why you are there. And then suddenly these charity lawyers walk in. Akilangbe Akishewon. Akilangbe Akishewon, raise up your hand. Say, yes, yes, sir. Come here. You have been released. Temitope Foundation for wrongly jailed individuals. We have fought, fight your case in court. And you have, this is what this lady is doing. There are so many of them out there. There are some of them, young people, you see them all over the social media. Some are doing pranks to give people money. Some are doing a prank to buy food for you, how much you can eat. Okay? Some are doing pranks, they are sharing food. Not prank, they're actually doing charity sharing food, renovating homes, paying hospital bills, doing this or that. And others are freeing people from jail. But because these ones are obedient, the other ones are Agbadorians. Now, so they got to say every case that this girl undo is like she lost every case she's been handling. So she came back and she was like, "Oh, sorry, please, can you please take this down? Don't do this to me. You know, this is my job. And I know you are just trolling me and all of that stuff, right? Then can't go hit another one. Like that, Sha. People didn't know what happened until when Agbadorians started there screaming, yeah, wow, what? Hey, everybody, stay down, no, stay down, whoa. They have arrested, they didn't say arrest, they said, we can no longer find one of us, so later everybody started feeling like, Kilo Shele, what happened and all that. So now police, Nigerian way. So that one of them just filed a petition that this person is strolling her, he's doing this to me and that. And Nigeria police, as usual, they just went straight to grab the guy. They don't tell anybody in front of his own papa, mama, and children and wife. Grab him, took him away, like the normal Gestapo style. But Jeje we did here, where missiles can't fly. So why am I telling you all of this? Is because now the missiles that were flying, that some of those supposed social media bandits, Facebook adsmen, they are supposed influencers and adult ed. They come, they shout, Aso Rock, what kind of thing be this? Why, how can the police be arresting us because we are defending Tinubu? Which kind of thing be this? Everybody take cover. If you go defend Tinubu, you end up in jail. Now your problem, oh. And surprisingly, the Nigerian Minister of Youth, Nigeria as Old Rocky, they swung into action because they are sewage dwellers. They have been fumigated, and they were not told before that you cannot, because you are supporting APC, break the law, defame somebody, or something like that. So they go, you go do jail. To them, how? How can we do jail? In this country, where we are the ones in power, police will be arresting us. Police will be kidnapping us. You know, police kidnap everyone like normal. Okay, APC can ask somebody to be taken. But they were so shocked that, how could the obedient, like, this is the problem. They were like, how could the obedient have so much influence in the country that APC is in charge? A supposed lawless country. How? But that is how lawlessness work. Oh, get any. You know, they spare anybody. If not, tomorrow now you decide to go and use the same criminal police to grab anybody